This is my XK120 Fixed Head Coupe. Now this has quite an interesting history, purely by chance. I didn't realise when I bought it, which was in 1973, like my other XKs. This is actually chassis number 3, the first right-hand drive car to be sold. It was originally the 120 Fixed Head was for export only, but they then chose to make a few right-hand drive cars. Generally the owners were hand-picked, so quite a few racing drivers, like Jimmy Stewart, brother of Jackie, Sir Jackie, and Neville Duke, who was a famous test pilot, and so on. Jack Sears, another well-known racing driver, had one of these, which he started his career with, racing, and so on. So chassis number 3, it was rather expensive, this one. This one cost me £150 in 1973. I only discovered afterwards that it was such an early car and that it had some history. In fact, it had a rally history with somebody called Jack Halley up north. I think it may have done an RAC rally as well. This is something I need to research one of these days. We restored it many years ago. It was in an appalling condition when I bought it, hence the price. It has a C-type head and it makes a very usable car indeed, the Fixed Head. It's obviously very practical and you have the beautiful plush interior, which is delightful. And when some years ago I had prostate cancer, I wanted to do something for the prostate charity, Prostate Cancer UK, and I became their motoring ambassador. And I came up with the idea of a round Britain coastal drive, which we did initially for E-types and then for XKs over a period of 4 years, twice for E-types, twice for XKs. This was very much a team event over the years with fantastic support from a number of members of our E-type club, our XK club. We raised collectively £250,000. Now I didn't mention all this because I did the whole of the UK, basically England, Scotland, Wales and Scotland, round the coastal roads, 18 days, 4,000 miles approximately, and so I really lived with this car for all those 18 days, and it was totally practical, great fun, lovely to drive, stunning scenery of course in Wales and parts of England and Scotland, absolutely fabulous. But it really made a superb car, and it really tested the car out because it's unusual to live with a car for that long, do that sort of mileage, but it was absolutely adequate, superb, and very, very enjoyable indeed. So I feel very fortunate indeed to own this car, which is such an early example, the earliest right-hand drive one to be sold. The first two, to be nerdy about this, the very first one was actually a development car. It was fitted at one stage, I think, with a 2-litre engine. That was later broken up, sadly, and the second car was the famous 7 Days and 7 Nights car. This was driven by Sterling Moss and 3 other drivers, Jack Fairman, Bert Hadley, and I forget now the 4th one, which is very, very remiss of me, but I think it was Leslie Johnson from memory, and they drove the car flat out, non-stop, for 7 days and nights at Montlhéry, just outside Paris, setting all sorts of records and so on. So it's actually very similar in the same colour. That's not intentional, but this is an original colour, bronze, not brown, as many people say. It's actually bronze, and it is chassis number 3. So there we are.